You've no doubt heard of Jack and the Beanstalk, but how about Marco and the magnificent magnolia? You see, Marco wanted to add value to his multi-million-dollar home, but there was one big thing standing in the way: a century-old magnolia tree. Then one day, it disappeared.
Marco, is that a magnolia chip on your shoulder?
Hooly dooly, Mr. Fanuli. What's going on here? The Fanulis have made a fortune from flogging top-notch furniture. But Marco Fanuli recently turned his hand to home improvements at his own place. Here's the amateur lumberjack ordering the removal of a magnolia tree, which is fine if it was completely his and wasn't protected.
Aren't you worried that it might go to court and you'll get a $250,000 fine? Do you think it's a bit entitled?
I think that might be the understatement of the century.
It's left his neighbour and the neighbourhood stumped. His dad too, apparently. That's him on video on the day of the at-speed deed.
Do you know anything about the disappearing tree? They're calling him Marco the Magician.
And now the ace card. Has this family, famous for turning wood into money, done it again?
It's a really shocking way to behave.
This is what's left of a 100-year-old magnolia tree. While the owner here loved it, the next-door neighbour didn't. So he took matters into his own hands. What do you think of the house, boys?
It's open day at the famous Fanulis.
Excuse me, mate, what did you think? Plenty of natural light?
A delightful heritage four-bedroom family haven built in 1884 in the hoity-toity eastern suburbs of Sydney.
Be nice once you go up, nice natural light through it, so good house.
And therein lies the root cause of the anger.
You get that, I'm going to make my house bigger.
The house, for the first time, has been advertised for sale as having two-storey potential. Ray White points out there's even DA approval for a second level. You might even see the Pacific. But that build's dependent on one thing. It had to be around the protected tree. Not anymore, thanks to Marco's Magnolia Massacre.
It's very sad. We really need to be serious about things like this.
The century-old tree was huge. It did go over both sides of the fence. The satellite shows it leant and towered above next door.
Did you think about extending an olive branch, perhaps, to your neighbour?
That neighbour, David Thompson, was overseas when Marco started swinging the axe without approval. He'd already lopped half of it so it didn't go over his house, and then, still brandishing a red right hand, committed one final act. It appears even the fence got in the way. And the apple doesn't fall far from this family tree. Dad Fabio Fanuli was there too, and didn't seem too happy about getting caught. This family's normally a friend of the camera. In House and Garden magazine, Fabio said he was a very mischievous child, with the journalist adding it was very hard to believe, suggesting Mr. Nice Guy was designed just for him. Apparently not when it comes to DIY.
The least you could have done is made a table out of it.
The cynic in most would suggest it's the Fanulis who've had the last laugh. Marco was fined $3,000, and you'd have to be as thick as two planks not to realise the house is worth more without the tree blocking the potential.
I don't understand why there hasn't been a civil prosecution in the Land and Environment Court.
Fanuli admitted his guilt to council, saying he regretted not waiting for approval, that he did it for safety and he wouldn't repeat his actions and was very remorseful. As a gesture of goodwill, he even offered to pay his neighbour $3,000 and replant a true beauty from Bunnings, a 45-litre teddy bear magnolia. Cost $306.
It's a bit of a low act.
See you guys.
Later, Marco told us he chopped down the tree because it was an emergency and he didn't want it to fall after severe storms. Mr Thompson claims the tree was perfectly healthy. Whatever caused the tree to leave, the new owners of this home won't have to worry when it's auctioned on Saturday. One thing's for sure, the Monstera's looking much better than the Magnolia. We're told the house won't come furnished, but one of Australia's best stores should be able to help.
Got any timber tables here? I don't know, something with a magnolia finish? Magnolia? G'day, Mr Fanuli. There's not a lot of talking, there seems to be a lot of action, but...
No comment. Do you mind leaving the premises, please?
And with that, Mr Fanuli sent us to the curb on a bitterly cold day. If only we had a magnolia to shelter under. A new one's since gone in back home, and the blessing is, it'll take 20 years to mature.
Well, seriously, what's a $3,000 fine in a multi-million-dollar suburb like that? Well, it turns out it doesn't end there. The hat is being passed around to take the Fanulis to court.